Hey everybody, Vagrant Gaming, and this was one of the, not one of the first, but maybe the third or fourth Warzone I've ran into. Shouting my buddy Caidith, he's a member of Republic. He's really good at what he does. He's one of the better gunslingers I know of. So I try to shadow him and give him some backup, because on his own he can survive for a long time and dish out a ton of damage, but with some off heals, he's even more dangerous. So, as you can see, we saw a Juggernaut running to our node, so we peeled off to try to take care of him. And this guy's really good at managing his cooldowns, because there's like 3 or 4 of us wailing on him, and he held on for a long time. There we go. So they should be safe to cap. I'm throwing a couple of heals, and then rocket boost to follow Caidith. Now, looks like I'm going to try to heal him up a little bit as well. There we go. He's good to go. So I've got him set as my focus target. So what usually happens is I'll try to attack the same person he is unless I see something weird happening. For example, an operative trying to capture an orb. And I eat the stun for him, which is fine. And I'm still getting used to my cooldowns, and I was trying to use that mortar rocket there because it roots them in place. I'm not sure what the internal cooldown is on it, because you can't just spam it and keep rooting people. But every now and then I'm trying to get more used to using it more often to lock people down, or at the very least to slow them from advancing to a target, which is usually me. And we got separated a little bit there. I peeled off to run at somebody else. Caidith's a bit more bold. Although there was nobody at mid, so that's why we're pushing up. Normally I try to hang towards the exit like I talk about in the positioning video, because then I can just leap backwards, line of sight, and try to heal myself up. And if they're going to pursue me outside, by the time they get there, I'm hopefully ready for them. But no one's really pushing in, and there's the 2 of us. Caidith does a ton of damage, so I'm not really worried. And we're just trying to hold down mid for the time being. I'm going to get a little bold and chase this guy into the corner, because he's almost dead. And Caidith is dead as well, and down he goes. It looks like time is just about up. So back to mid we go. And now I'm going to duck behind the cubicle here to break line of sight. Try to get some healing in. And they're all over. But that's okay, because I remember his adrenaline rush. And it's either by default or I pick the utility where it'll heal me up to 75% of my health, which is super helpful. If you play Commando a lot, you probably notice that people will just dive all over you and you'll take a ton of damage. So being able to hit adrenaline rush and let your health back up helps a lot, because, well, at least in my experience, I got focused a lot in 4.7, and pretty much any patch before then, my commando would either be completely ignored or heavily focused. There wasn't much in between half of the time. So I'm spreading things out, using my grenades there, trying to spread a bit of damage, because there's 2 targets right next to each other. Didn't quite work out as well as I planned, but well enough. Got a net, and he's reflecting damage, but that's okay. Back in a second, he'll start rolling me again. And between me and Caidith, I'm not really worried about this guy holding up. And there he goes. Caidith alone focusing on someone they'll have a bad time. The 2 of us, a bit decent burst. I'm not sure if he changed his gear yet, but the gunslinger build that he was using had a decent amount of alacrity, a little bit of accuracy, and some crit. And so because of that, his channel times are pretty fast. I think it takes him about like 1.3 seconds to drop like a charged burst, and his aim shot doesn't take much longer than that. So, and just the gunslinger, marksman gunslingers, they have a good amount of burst regardless. So he's just dropping hits left and right. He's just a damage machine. And that is my first death, because I got off target. I should have stayed close to Caidith and focused on backing him up. But that's okay. So we're back in the swing of things here. And we've got a good amount of DPS on our team, so we've got a good handle on things here. Now we're going to focus on this assassin. Now, assassins have a new cooldown, and I haven't quite learned how theirs work. They put like this shroud around them, and I'm not sure if it negates white damage or yellow damage. I'm not really positive how it works. I've been trying to mix up my attacks when I use it. And I'm not even sure if it might just boost their defenses so high that most stuff misses them. Not positive, but that's something that I need to look into. And that was just a cut for time. We had some trouble at our pylon, as you can see, so I ran off. And just to save you from watching me just running back and forth that time around, we just cut right to it. So now we're fighting basically a bullet sponge, which is a Juggernaut. So we've got him pretty low. Looks like the Electronet hit. Now he's starting to use a Saber Ward. So he switched to an AoE, and there's that Shroud that I mentioned before. I'm going to try damaging him. Alright, that got through. And then didn't look like full auto did too much, so it might be a defense against light damage, which kind of makes sense. They have one ability, I forget the name of it, but if you're playing as a shadow, like you glow bright yellow, and only white damage will get through to you. Force detect damage just bounces off, and that's usually when I try to hit full auto on a shadow / assassin when they've got that ability going, which doesn't last too long. So that might be the opposite that protects them from light damage. I'm trying to throw some off heals because we got a man that's under some pressure there. And that's one of the reasons why my damage winds up being kind of on the low end. And it's not even that I do a ton of off healing, but some of the time that I spend off healing just to try to save someone from getting dropped could be better, well, not necessarily better spent, but it could be spent doing damage instead. And if I could start doing that, who knows, maybe my damage would get better. I do alright damage-wise, depending on the match. And this one, I think I'm 5 or 6 place for overall damage. Although I think I've yet to out-damage Caidith unless he's guarding a network. Because he's just one of those good all-around players where he has a deep understanding of pretty much every class. So he does really well. 10k crit. Do some damage, and this is that same Juggernaut that was attacking our node before. So it takes a decent amount of punishment to put this guy down. I'm guessing he's in full tank gear. Although now that stances are gone, it's harder to look and tell what stance people are using or what specialization they're using. Before, it's like, oh, it's Chi Cho. He's in the burst back there. I usually refer to it as smash back or rage. I think it's called rage for Imperials. If I forget what I think it's Chi Cho. I think that's the stance that was for vigilance for Guardians. I'm not sure what it's called for Empire. And then Suresu. Hopefully I'm not messing the names up. Suresu would be for tanks. And that used to be a good way to tell what kind of a Juggernaut you were dealing with. Pumping out some more damage here. And it looks like there's like 3 of us on this one Marauder. And I think he's already used Guarded by the Force. Not sure. Either way, we should have this guy down in no problem. There's my diversions so that I'll get covered for any force damage he uses for 10 seconds. But he's making a break for it. I probably should be healing up instead of chasing him. And that was to try to root him. And now we're back on him. And it looks like there's someone behind me. Yeah, there's an assassin on me. So, that backfired. I was probably better off letting him go and sticking with the group. But hey, we got him. Fantastic. Now I'm trying to rally and not get killed by this assassin. My health's down pretty low, but I've got some cooldowns I can use, trying to get some heals going. There's the diversion to protect me from some force damage. But it only lasts 10 seconds, and with the stun, yeah. Alright, so this is my adrenaline rush. That'll put me to about 75% health or so. So I'm doing alright, and I'm starting to think I have a chance of beating this guy. That low slash keeps getting me. probably should have used my shield here. But, oh, then a Juggernaut comes in. So my health is low, and now it's 2-on-1, and that's the end of that. If I used my defensive shield sooner, that might have kept me going long enough, but maybe not. The way that it works was I took a talent, or I took a utility where when the shield goes up, it gives me some defensive bonuses, and every time I get attacked while it's up, it gets a charge. I forget what the max charge is, but by the time the shield expires, all those charges will heal me, which is nice, but you gotta use it early. But despite getting ripped up, we did okay, and this is my generic message here. So as always, thank you for watching, and hope you guys enjoyed the match, and I will catch you guys all next time. Take care.